Welcome to Plaza Independencia, the grand centerpiece of Montevideo that links the old town to the modern city center. At its heart stands the majestic equestrian monument of José Gervasio Artigas, Uruguay's founding father. Beneath it lies the underground Artigas mausoleum, guarded day and night in solemn tribute. Looking east, you'll see the iconic Palacio Salvo, flamboyant with Art Deco and Gothic details. Completed in 1928, this soaring landmark was once the tallest building in South America and still dominates the sky high. Stick around as we explore the stories behind these icons and discover why this plaza beats at the heart of Montevideo.
In Montevideo at the beginning of the 20th century, a place where many men used to gather around with their friends to drink wine and to listen to tangos being played live at the cafe. Just FYI, vinyls were invented in 1952 and wax cylinders were pretty expensive to get and difficult to get your hands on back in those days. So it was the only way where people could listen to their favorite songs being played live at these places. The cafe is really important because the Salvos bought it in 1918 to demolish it and begin the construction of the Salvo Palace on its remains. So we are where La Giralda used to be. And also it's really important because just like she said, this is where La Cumparsita was played for the first time when it was debuted. Anybody ever listened to the song before? It's this one that is playing on the background as I tell you about it. Its history. And La Cumparsita was the work of that man sitting over there in the corner. His name was Gerardo Matos Rodriguez, an Uruguayan pianist, but he was not a trained musician. He didn't know how to write or how to read sheet music. So once he had the idea for La Cumparsita, it was actually his sister Ofelia, the one that finished the composition of the song. But since these were very misogynistic times, Ofelia never got the credit for La Cumparsita, although she wrote 75% of it. And we like to name her because we believe her legacy should live on next to her brothers. So, since Gerardo was not able to play the song, he actually lent it to some of his friends who were trained musicians for them to rehearse it, to play it for the first time, the 19th of April of 1917 in here, in what used to be the Gerardo. And this picture is from that same night. Some of these men were the musicians that played La Cumparsita. This is where the stage for the orchestra used to be. And over here is where we have Gerardo sitting right there. That same night, La Cumparsita was played 6 times in a row because people, remember, it was the only way that they could get to listen to the songs. And during the course of the next few months, many other men asked for Gerardo to bring La Cumparsita to their bars so it could become some sort of Montevidean icon. So to avoid somebody stealing the song from him, because in Uruguay we didn't have any laws that would protect copyright or music or anything, he had to sell the rights of La Cumparsita to an Argentinian music store. He sold it for 50 pesos, which was 10 times more what they would pay for a tango back in those days. And if you adjust it to inflation, it would be $300 nowadays, which is still a lot of money for a song. The company sold a lot of sheet music for La Cumparsita. Later, they sold vinyls as well. But the sheet music, it got to the hands of many musicians of the time who wanted to learn how to play the song so they could show it to the tango singers of the 1920s, like Carlos Gardel. These singers took advantage of La Cumparsita not having any lyrics, so they could put their own on top and make their own tangos with La Cumparsita as the base. There's over 2,700 of these versions, making La Cumparsita the most covered tango of all time and the 14th most covered song overall of all time. Top 20 isn't that bad. So, we'd like to open the doors to the museum to defend the fact that La Cumparsita is known as the tango of all tangos, the most important tango of all time, and the Uruguayan musical piece. Now, many people know that La Cumparsita actually belongs to Uruguay, so the idea is for us to defend our cultural heritage until the day we cease to exist. This is the point where the tour through the Salvo Palace ends. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Like I said, now you can roam freely, take pictures, and if you have any questions, you can come up to me. As always, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, and go Bears.
So what's the name of the song again? Can you say it slowly?
It's
How did that go?
So it's not a real word. It comes from the word comparsa, which is a group of men that play galope during carnival, and it's mixed with the word for partner, which is compadre. One of the waiters at La Giralda was an Italian guy who didn't speak Spanish. He spoke a dialect called cocoliche, and he mixed the words. So whenever comparsas came to La Giralda, he used to say comparsas, and that's why the name this song is called that way.
Is it just one page?
Yeah, pretty much. It moves around for like 6 minutes. So, yeah. Once my parents were going through the financial crisis in 2002, the year I was born, one of my mom's best friends, she moved out to the US to marry a man pretty much for the green card from there. Well, surprisingly enough, they ended up getting love after all. And he was a man from Chicago. I used to go a lot there when I was a kid. I went to a lot of those games. So, yeah, I just wish we were a much decent team. 2017 was a good year. Something like that. You know what?
European people, the style of life, the gastronomy habits, the architectural styles also. Acá tenemos al inicio de la avenida la plaza principal del centro de Montevideo, que es Plaza Independencia, donde está el monumento al héroe nacional uruguayo, el general José Artigas. Debajo hay un mausoleo con sus restos. This is Independence Square with the monument to our national hero, José Artigas. It was a start revolution and got our land free from 1811. Downstairs is the body of Artigas. Aquel edificio moderno que vemos a la izquierda es el edificio de gobierno. En el piso 11, andar 11, está el escritorio de la oficina del presidente de Uruguay, el abogado Luis Lacalle Pou, hasta el 1 de marzo, que ahí tendremos el nuevo presidente. Se llama Torre Ejecutiva este edificio. That modern building that you see on the left is the government building. There has his office our president, lawyer Luis Lacalle Pou, until the next March 1st, the change the president, the new president coming. Ese edificio también lindo a la derecha es el Teatro Solís, on the right Solís Theater. Data de 1856 con capacidad para 1.200 personas. That theater was built in 1856. Here may be 1,200 people inside. Y acá tenemos el Museo de los Presidentes, esta casona antigua del fin del siglo XIX. In this old house, built at the end of 19th century, is a museum of presidents. Acá adelante, el que fue el primer edificio construido en Montevideo en 1926. This was the first high building built in Montevideo in 1926, Salvo Palace. 300 familias moran ahí. 300 families lives inside the building. También había una radio hasta años pasados. Es un edificio residencial. It's a residential building. Pero fue el primero en América del Sur construido en cemento armado con esa altura. This was the first in South America built in this private and public office of Montevideo City, most of the banks. So during the week there are a good number of people walking by the different buildings. In the weekend it's very calm. Lo que hay también edificios bien conservados, otros no tanto, pero mucho graffiti como pueden ver. There are some buildings in good condition, others not very good, but graffitis anywhere. Miren, hasta la iglesia no se salvó de los graffitis. Ahí tenemos a la izquierda la catedral de Montevideo que data de 1804, consagrada a la Virgen María. This is the cathedral built in 1804, consecrated to Virgin Mary. Aquí tenemos a la derecha la Plaza Matriz o Plaza Constitución. This is Constitution Square or Matriz Square. En la época de la colonia esta plaza fue importante porque era el centro de la actividad religiosa, militar, civil de la época de la colonia. Hoy es un lugar de descanso, como pueden ver. During colonial time, this square had the most of the political, religion, military meetings in that old times. Today is a place for resting. Acá tenemos el café más antiguo de la ciudad, a la izquierda, el café brasilero. This is on the left, the oldest café in the city, Brazilian Café, built in 1877, es de 1877. Y ahí han estado en algún momento del tiempo personalidades como Mario Benedetti, Galeano, ¿verdad? Escritores que se han sentado en esas mesas quizás a inspirarse para sus obras. A la izquierda. In that cafe, in other time, we had the meeting of different writers of Uruguay, painters of our country. Today is a very historical café. Si ustedes están más tiempo en Montevideo, puede ser interesante que vengan por aquí, entren y miren los retratos de personalidades que han estado en el tiempo. Vale la pena tomarse un rico cafecito. If you are more time in Montevideo, you can walk in there and look into the different painters about the other writers of Uruguay. Bueno, y como ven, seguimos viendo la influencia arquitectónica europea en los edificios de esta ciudad antigua. You see the European style of the different buildings in this old town. Es el banco más importante del estado. This is Republic Bank building, the most important bank of the state. También está aquí el Museo del Gaucho y la Moneda. Ahí se ve Artigas, nuestro héroe al frente. This is the monument to Artigas in front of the gate. Y acá tenemos una iglesia, little houses, cheaper hotels, because it's a poor area. The government try to keep all this area in the future, because not is very good. A very good Italian architect, Mr. Victoriano, who had designed the Congress Gate in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Yo no sé si se podrá parar eso.
No, la vuelta creo que puede.
No.
¿De la vuelta? No.
Pero se podrá parar de ahí.
Parece que sí.
Si no paramos aquí.
¿Paro acá o doy la vuelta?
Y vamos para acá.
Welcome to the legislative powers of Uruguay, a striking symbol of democracy and architecture in Montevideo. This grand building, completed in 1925, serves as the seat of Uruguay's General Assembly, home to both the Senate and the Chamber of Representatives. Designed by Italian architect Vittorio Menon and later completed by Jules Liance. It blends neoclassical formality with French Baroque arts elegance. When you visit Montevideo, the Legislative Palace isn't just a sight to see, it's a place where history and governance meet. I'm now here at Mercado del Puerto, the beating culinary heart of Montevideo's old town. Built in 1868 with a striking iron and a glass design imported from England, This historic market once supplied fresh produce and meat to ships at port. Today, Mercado del Puerto is less a market and more a vibrant gastronomy hub. Buzzy, caves, live music, and local artisans. Step inside and let your senses come alive. The sizzle of asado on open-wood fired grills, the aroma of sizzling chorizos, and the hum of canlobi drummers echoing through the walls. Whether you are a foodie, culture seeker, or crispy buff, Mercado del Puerto is a must visit that captures the soul of Montevideo, right by the water's edge.
Variedades. This is an Israeli neighborhood, so here they offer different products cheaper than in the downtown. The quality is standard. O sea que se consigue más barato comprando un mismo artículo, varias prendas, varios artículos iguales. El horario comercial en Montevideo es de lunes a viernes, segunda a sexta, entre las 9 de la mañana y las 7 de la tarde. Los sábados solo hasta el mediodía. A la tarde está todo cerrado. Al igual que el día domingo, todo el domingo está cerrado. Fuera de esos horarios están abiertos los shopping, los malls, entre las 10 de la mañana y las 10 de la noche. Stores in Montevideo open during the week, 9 o'clock until 7 o'clock. On Saturday, only in the morning. And in the afternoon and on Sunday they are closed. But the 5 shopping centers in different neighborhoods of the city are open every day. Y ahí tenemos al frente a la izquierda una cruz. Al pie de la cruz está el monumento que representa al Papa Juan Pablo II que visitó Uruguay en 1987. This is the monument that represents the Pope John Paul II. He was visiting Uruguay in 1987. Uruguay no tiene religión oficial, hay libertad de cultos, pero el 45% de las personas prefieren en primer lugar la religión católica, aunque solo el 4% va a la misa. Uruguay es el país menos católico de América del Sur. Ahí tenemos el obelisco, los constituyentes de 40 metros de altura, rodeado de 3 cariátides de bronce, es en granito rojo. In front of us, you see our obelisk. It has 40 meters high, all made in brown stone. Y este edificio que está a la izquierda, antiguo, es un hospital. Ha sido declarado por la FIFA Monumento Histórico del Fútbol Mundial, pues aquí se celebró la primera Copa Taza del Mundo en 1930. Y Uruguay ganó. This stadium is a monument to the football of the world because here happened the first World Cup of Football by FIFA in 1930. Uruguay won. Uruguay fue campeón olímpico 2 veces, 1924, 1928, en Ámsterdam y Colombes. Por eso al año siguiente se le invita para que sea la sede de la primera Copa Taza que iba a realizar la FIFA por primera vez. Uruguay acepta y hace este estadio en 9 meses con la tecnología de aquel tiempo. Se logra terminar, jugar y ganar la Copa también. The Uruguay got Olympic champion of football twice, 1924, 1928 in Amsterdam and Columbus. So 1 year later, this stadium was opened for the first World Cup of football by FIFA, and built this stadium in only 9 months, played and won the cup. Y puede ser visitado por el público de lunes a sábados. Por el otro lado, por el Museo del Fútbol, se paga $12 por persona porque está privatizado y se puede ver por dentro el estadio. The people can visit this stadium, and by the other side, at the foot of that tower, pay $12 per person and can visit the stadium from here. But only imagine the legal division, because here is all the ocean. Bueno, y está en la playa Positos, la más visitada de la ciudad. This is Positos Beach. Todas las playas están perfectamente aptas para el baño, ya desde noviembre, cuando el tiempo lo permite. No hay grandes olas, no hay polución, gracias a un colector o emisario subacuático que está más atrás en el barrio Punta Carretas y permite canalizar todas las aguas poluidas 2,5 kilómetros hacia afuera y evitar que retornen a la costa, y así la gente puede bañarse con total tranquilidad. La temperatura del agua en un día de mucho calor está en 23-24 grados, es un poquito frío. Punta del Este es 2 grados menos porque es plenamente océano, allá es fría. To these beaches of Montevideo, people coming to swim from November until March. Not high waves and no pollution at the moment. Temperature for swimming in a hot day may be 23-24 degrees centigrade. In Punta del Este is 2 degrees below because it's colder than here. No está permitido construir casas o edificios en la arena. Ven ustedes que están todos hacia la izquierda con determinado metraje, y la altura también está controlada. No pueden pasar de los 29 o 30 pisos. City Hall of Montevideo not permit to build houses or buildings of apartments on the beaches. You see they on the left and